Cruise news time. We have another cruise company committing a cruise ship to earthquake relief in Turkey. We've got an interesting story about a Greek ferry company that did some cruise ship speculation during the pandemic, buying up 8 cruise ships to make the most of it when cruising restarted. And while there's a story of woe, there's a cruiser out there pretty upset about a kids bingo win. B-I-N-G-O. And bingo was his name-o. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face for a Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let me give you a quick update on the show yesterday. I shared the story with you about my first legal drink, and in that story, I shared that the bartender that gave me my first legal drink also gave me a headshot, a signed autographed headshot, because she was an aspiring musician. And many people said, well, did anything become of the bartender? I'm thinking no. I don't have the picture anymore. I don't recognize any celebrities today, any country music stars today that was that bartender. And so, of course, that was 30 years ago. But yeah, I don't think she made it. I tried to answer that individually a lot in the comments yesterday, but I thought I would put it out here just so people would rest easy. It raises a great question. Which pre-stardom celebrity would you love to have you serve a drink? Country music star, yeah, it'd be cool to have somebody like a Gretchen Wilson or a Faith Hill serve you a drink before they were famous, maybe? I don't know. Who would your country star be? Leave a comment below. All right, cruise news story number 1. Murray Cruises is sending a cruise ship, the Gemini, to help out with the earthquake relief in Turkey. You may remember last week we spoke about MSC Cruise Line also sending a couple vessels to help out with the relief effort. The Gemini will be housing 1,056 passengers. Cruise Line has noted that it is mostly families on board the Gemini. They are providing all their meals, 24-hour medical services. They're organizing programs to keep the children entertained. They're gonna be there until mid-March as these displaced people try to find some place to go. And an interesting fact, this is not really the first time that this cruise ship has been used this way. It also served as a floating hotel during 2 Olympic Games, the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona and the 2012 Olympics in London. This ship has a storied history. It's been with a lot of different cruise lines, and it really moves us into the next story, talking about how cruise ships move from different cruise lines, and an interesting story about how SeaJets, the ferry company in Greece that we talked about yesterday, they bought a lot of cruise ships. They bought 8 cruise ships during the pandemic. So let me run through the list of cruise ships, who they bought the cruise ships from, and what they're currently doing with them. Let's start with the Queen of the Oceans, which was purchased from P&O Cruises. It used to be the P&O Oceana, holds 2,000 guests, and it's currently laid up in Greece. Not in service, it is laid up. Second ship, the Aegean Majesty, is the MS Veendam. It was purchased from Holland America Line, holds 1,350 guests. And as we heard yesterday, that was the cruise ship that was sold to Celestial Cruises. So no longer with SeaJets, now at Celestial. The Aegean Myth, another Holland America ship, the MS Mazdam, holds 1,258 guests. All these ships were purchased in mid-2020, right there at the beginning of the pandemic. And the Mazdam has also been sold, this time going to a new cruise line called CFC, and it will be put into service under a new name called the Renaissance in May. The Aegean Goddess is the ex-Pacific Aria that was purchased by P&O Australia. This is laid up in Greece, 1,258 passengers. This was purchased in late 2020. SeaJets also purchased the Magellan in late 2020. It was a cruise ship that held 1,452 passengers. This was purchased from the Bankrupt Cruise and Maritime Voyages, and that one was sold to the scrapyard. Now, that wasn't the only Cruise and Maritime Voyages ship that they bought. They also bought the Columbus in late 2020, 1,400 guests. That one was also sold to the scrapyard. They did buy a Royal Caribbean International ship in early 2021. They picked up Royal Caribbean's Majesty of the Seas, and now that's just been renamed Majesty for SeaJets. Holds 2,354 passengers. That one is laid up in Greece. And then the 8th ship that they purchased, this was a recent purchase. It's the Mykonos Magic, and this was the former Costa Magica purchased from Costa Cruises. This one was purchased in February of this year, 2023, 2,720 guests, and this one is laid up in Italy. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this last cruise ship, the Mykonos Magic. This will be the largest ship that they have in their fleet with the 2,720 guests. So it's going to be interesting to see if they use it as some sort of ferry or if they use it as a legit cruise ship. Stories like this kind of make you wonder how many businesses out there were able to take advantage of the pandemic, not in a malicious way, but just see an opportunity. Okay, there's cruise lines that need to get rid of cruise ships. We have some extra capital to buy some cruise ships. We can buy them, we can hold them, we can dispose of them at the end of the pandemic and probably make some money. It certainly sounds like that's what CJet has been able to do. Have you been on any of those ships that I mentioned? Does it surprise you how many cruise ships have gone through the CJet family now? Leave a comment below. Now, I got to tell you about the passenger that had a mini rant over a kid winning a bingo game. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. All right, this comes from the subreddit Cruise, and there was this posting here by user Jaded Bones. It says, mini rant, kids should not be allowed to play bingo. I was recently on a Royal Caribbean cruise where they had bingo as an activity. Prices ranged from $36 to $69. Kids were allowed to play for free with an adult purchase, and guess who won $1,800? A very cute little girl who wasn't even that excited because she did not understand the gravity of the situation. Good for her. Yes, I'm a little salty, but geez, they can't hit the slots, play a hand, so why can they play bingo? Rant over. Now, if you go and read the rest of the thread, there is some speculation there that possibly the adult had received a free card. Sometimes they have those specials when you're playing bingo. If you buy X amount of cards, you get an extra card to play, and it's usually just like a single sheet. And so instead of like the 9-up bingo card, you got just a single sheet, maybe how it was pitched. Have your kid play the free card or something like that. Either way, the card was going to be played, and this person certainly is salty about the $1,800. I would be surprised if the kid was able to collect the $1,800. I assume that the kid probably yelled bingo, and then immediately the parent got the card and went and collected the $1,800. My favorite comment to the original commenter was this one: at least they did not beat you at trivia. Is this something to be angry about? Is this not something to be angry about? Should kids be excluded from the bingo hall? That's an interesting conversation. Kids aren't supposed to be in the casino, as it were. Should kids be excluded from bingo games? Does it lessen the game? Any bingo purists out there that want to weigh in, leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I sure hope you enjoyed it. You can show your support for the show by hitting the like button. And unfortunately, if you do not hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you, and your punishment will be this. On your very next cruise, you'll be playing bingo, and the brand new dauber that you bought from the cruise staff will run out of ink right at the very moment that you have to dab or daub the last square for the coverall that will win you a free cruise. And unable to daub, you will not be a winner because all circles must be daubed. You can avoid that by hitting the like button. This is Tony with La Lido Loca saying bingo. We got a bingo. Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.